evidence-based analysis and a stoker of vile feelings, the kind of feelings that the right-wing media is back to stoking up again with regard to poor sods in dinghies. But, you know, they've got nothing else to talk about, because if they weren't talking about poor souls in dinghies, they'd have to talk about the bloke they've put in Downing Street and the Brexit that they've signed the entire country up for. So probably if I was one of them, I'd be talking about poor souls in dinghies. But Cummings has got all of that on his conscience, all of that on his shoulders, and now he's turning around and saying the bloke I put in Downing Street is an absolute wrong-un. I worry that that is just going to wash over the heads of everybody. The people that fell for his referendum lies and the people that didn't are both going to be primed to think, oh, jog on, Dominic, you've had your fun, just leave us alone now.
Yeah, just I'm very glad to raise those points, because when Brexit, obviously, we had the Tory faithful applauding the end of freedom of movement. And freedom, you know, I voted freedom, you voted freedom.
Freedom Day.
You know, and the end of freedom of movement means that British people, elite in the whole of Europe, British people are confined to travelling within two countries, UK and Ireland. You know,
travelling for work, travelling for work without visas. They can still go on board without visas.
Travelling, staying longer than 3 months without as a hindrance. So that's abolition of the freedom in the name of freedom.
And then you're back to Orwell. But just briefly on the Cummings question, do you think he has, for want of a better phrase, has he shot his bolt? No matter what he comes out with now, it's not going to touch the sides?
There's more to come, isn't there?
I think there probably is. So you can plead. Yes, there is a programme on the BBC this evening that I suspect I might even watch, even though come 1 o'clock these days, I think when I've done my 3 hours, I feel I'm going to watch some cricket then. But I think this evening I might make an exception. 10:28 is the time. Peter, thank you very much indeed. As Peter waves farewell from Oxford, he frees up a phone line that you can, of course, grab. Question, no real sort of humdinger question this morning, but I do find myself leaning as the morning moves on to the question of whether or not Cummings has any credibility. So he's telling the truth now, he can prove it. It's written down, Downing Street aren't even denying it. But we live in an age, a bizarre age. Peter quite right to cite George Orwell, who understood this sort of thing better than anybody. But does he actually have credibility? Even though he's telling the truth now, so many people still need to pretend that they weren't lied to by him then, that they're going to gloss over him telling the truth now. And so many people who knew that he was lying then are very conscious of how contorted it can seem to now claim that everybody should treat him as some sort of paragon of veracity. So does Dominic Cummings have the credibility to do what he's trying to do to Boris Johnson? And hopefully that's a question everyone can have a crack at, wherever you sit politically. Does Dominic Cummings have the credibility to land the punches on Boris Johnson that he's swinging at the moment, even though he's got the receipts, he's got the evidence? There's no debate about whether he's telling the truth or not. The only bits that Downing Street are denying are the bits that aren't written down. But I genuinely worry, as someone who holds Cummings in the very lowest of regard for the most obvious of reasons, that I probably look at him with just as much disdain as people who believed all his Brexit lies and have now somehow twisted their head back round again and are looking down on the bloke who sold them the last big con. 0345 6060 973. It's 10:30. Holly Harris is here with your headlines.
Downing Street has said it's crucial.